Hey scholars, it is me, as a sloth. I apologize that I'm getting this video to you so late. I really apologize for that. It's been a hectic few days. I'm sure all of you, have been in a place where you feel like you felt very overwhelmed with all the things that you've needed to do. And that's where I've been recently, especially with planning your culmination, which I'm super excited for. And all of that is to say that I really apologize that I wasn't able to get this to you earlier. Of course, I'm not expecting you to get it to me entirely on time since I'm getting this to you late. But if you were able to do it on your own, that's awesome. That's great. And if not, let's go through it together now, all right? So this is our application problem for May 19th, Tuesday, May 19th. And the problem reads, Kiana buys a rug that is 10 3/4 feet by 12 1/2 feet. What is the area of the rug? So you're thinking with an area model and a multiplication sentence. So what's the question we're answering? We were trying to figure out what the area of the rug is, right? And we know that area is length times width. So now we need to look, well, where in the problem do we see length and width? Well, when it says Kiana buys a rug that is 10 3/4 feet by 12 1/2 feet, that is the problem giving us the length and the width. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, actually before I do that, I'm going to put 10 3/4 feet here. I'm going to put 12 1/2 feet here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the half under the 12 so that we can then make an area model, which is part of what the problem asks us to do. And remember, with the area model, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply to find what's in here, what's in here, what's in here, and what's in here. And then we're going to add all of those together. So I'm going to start that off with you, but I am at some point going to stop this video so that you can take ownership and you can do it on your own. And if you have any questions, you know to come find me and Miss Andrea at office hours. So let's get right to it. 10 times 12, or 10 groups of 12, is 120. We can remember Emerlin's rule, right, of putting that 0 at the end. 12 times 3/4, that would be 12 times 3/4, 12, 3/4, 12 times. Or in other words, like it would be 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. In other words, I'm doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these two. I'm going to get 36, and I'm going to leave the bottom on its own. So 36 over 4. For this one, I'm going to do 10 times 1/2, or 1/2 plus 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 1/2. And what I'm going to end up with is 10 halves. And for the last one, this is the one that we sometimes get confused by. I need to multiply 3/4 times 1/2. Remember, when it's multiplication, we just have to multiply across. We don't need to change anything, but we're just multiplying it across. So 3 times 1 is going to be 3. 4 times 2 is going to be 8. I'm going to end up with 3/8. So we know that when we see a number, now we've got all 4 of our boxes done. Let me not get ahead of myself. We got all 4 of our boxes done. We're good now. We know that when we see a number like this, what it's telling us is that we have more than one whole, right? And in fact, because what would one whole be? It would be 4/4. So how many 4/4 do we have? And remember, what I can think about here is if I'm doing 36 over 4, that's kind of like taking 36 and breaking it into groups of 4. And what's going to happen is I'm going to end up with 9 whole groups. Because I can do 4/4, that's one group, 8/4, 12/4, 16/4, 20/4. So now I'm at 5 whole groups. 24/4, 28/4, 32/4, and 36/4. I'm at 9 groups. So instead of having to deal with that fraction, I'm going to say that it's actually 9 wholes. And similarly, let's look at that 10 halves, 10 over 2. If I have 10 over 2, and I'll actually visualize this one with you, right? 10 over 2, that can be 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2. If we added these together, we would get 2 halves, 4 halves, 6 halves, 8 halves, 10 halves. Another way to think about that is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now instead of 10 over 2, I have 5 wholes. And what you'll notice, what we did there is we went from having to add 3 different fractions to now we only have 1 fraction left. So when I'm now going to add all of these up together, I'm going to add, right, this plus this plus this, that's not a good circle, plus this, that's going to give me my area because I did my area model to find the length times width, right? So that I'm going to let you do on your own, right? You can add these numbers together. Now it says, so we did this part. We got the area model down. Now it says, write a multiplication sentence. Well, that's the easy part of this. Write a multiplication sentence. I know area is length times width. If the length is 10 3/4, times the width, right, here's we're going to do length is here, times width, the width is 12 1/2. There's a multiplication sentence. Easy as a sloth. That's not actually a saying, but we're going to make it one in this class now, all right? So I hope that was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions about it, all right? Again, I really apologize that I'm getting this to you so late. Please, please, please don't feel pressured to get it to me at any certain time. Let me know if you have any questions. I love you so much. I miss you. I cannot wait to see you in class. It always makes my day. And I will see you soon. Bye, scholars.